oh why has there never, not once, been a non-stop video footage of a camera strapped to a rocket pointing upwards so we can see it leave?
So I don't know if I'll use this. I was just talking to my lady about fallen heroes and such like. Let's say that a celebrity was born or created, and this celebrity became so famous, so popular, that people began to emulate this person. Now, let's say for now that this person was a massive charity worker, gave all their money away to other charities, lived in a humble home, and people start to copy that. We don't need all this, we don't need all this, don't need a big flashy car. People start to emulate it. Can they afford to keep that person around? Can that celebrated hero remain, or must you bring them down? I always used to wonder why Cliff Richard was never played on the radio. And then in the last sort of decade, I suppose, I wondered whether it was because people thought he was a pervert. And then I wondered, well, maybe it's because, as I was just talking to my lady, maybe it's because he was having too much influence over people. You know? What happens when you become more popular than the Queen, than the Prime Minister, and you start to have a bigger influence as the celebrated person than the divinely placed or democratically voted? What would you do? What could the people in charge do? Would they allow that person to keep having influence, or would they bring them down? You understand who I'm talking about, what I'm talking about? Mr. Savile. Either for 50 years, that man just got away with it. He was the smartest man to ever lived, abusing children and abusing dead bodies and such. Okay, I hope everybody's well. And as with yesterday, I hope you can hear me. I'm going to point where I'm going. Hopefully not the floor. So I need to clarify a couple of points, and well, not apologise, but I hope I didn't upset anyone with my previous video. You know, if you're on YouTube looking at stuff, then I'm not addressing you. You're not one of these people that's not talking about important things. And I hope you don't think I was referring to particularly my subs. I talk particularly to those I work with, my family, and those I walk past. Priorities are so very different for everybody, and they should be to a certain degree. And you know, I don't want to say that people shouldn't have holidays and things like that, shouldn't have birthdays. I don't want to take away from my children something that I had the chance to enjoy, you know, birthdays and Christmases, Easters. I don't want to take this away from people. But it's example of a few things I'm talking about, and I hate to name and shame. It doesn't matter to my subs or other people that come watch this, but hopefully my family will take no offence to this if they ever get around to watching these. But all of my nieces and nephews, just about all of them, will do mention their own birthdays months in advance. Absolutely months in advance. They talk about Christmas and Christmas lists months in advance. And for a child, it leaves no time for consideration of other things, other people. And for me, that's the wrong part. We encourage children to think of nothing else but their birthdays and their Christmas, because we love spoiling our own children. I tried saying once before, while walking home with one of my nieces, we were picking up conkers, and she didn't realise that conkers did not fall from every single tree. She thought trees were just trees. She did not realise there were ash and oak and maple and all these other different types. She thought trees was trees. And this is wrong. How did it come to that? How did it come to that? I know a lot of people will say, what relevance do trees hold in our everyday life? Well, that's where you're missing everything, because then you don't know where to go to collect conkers. If you think trees are trees, you could be standing by an oak tree forever and you will never get a conker from it. Somehow maths, science and English has become the be-all and end-all, and yet the comprehension of all of them has just dropped off the board, off the scale. So few can comprehend. Alright, everybody can add up 1 and 1. Woohoo! Well, I can prove to you that 1 and 1 can make 3 as well. How do people not question the similarities of meanings that the English word has in so many places? Why is a knot a knot a knot and not a knot? English, math and science, they are single threads, single bands, single frequencies of information. Imagine a tree with no branches. That's what each of those disciplines, those disciples, are. And I do hate that holier than thou feeling I have about myself. You know, Yorkshire lass Tracy says her dad used to call it standing on a soapbox. My mum used to say, you know, get off your fucking high horse. But there's something majestic about sitting up on a high horse and knowing things that other people don't. Do you understand? And you know, I think we're almost bred to like being up on the high horse. Do you understand? Put your feet firmly back on the ground, people. I hope to come back later on this week with some good news. I hope at some point to be able to get back on and do a hangout. It's not happening at the minute. Every time I try and do things, it's all going tits up. I've got 2 laptops, and one of them don't work to make videos, and the YouTube editor crashes, and the other one, it just crashes. And I've got an iPod with a cracked screen, limited memory, limited battery. This is just the way things go. Oh great, the fucking gate's locked. Excuse my language. Is it? Is it? No, it's not. It's just closed. I want to make a. I started off my video yesterday by saying that I would talk about why I've been researching the flat Earth for 2 years, and I will do so far more deeply. But the actual reason I began typing on Sunday was fluff and nonsense everywhere. The people I spoke to last week outside of YouTube, there was the stories they had for me, you know? £20 note, people getting nicked. Birthdays and things. I will get into the why and how. Not proofs, but those things that convinced me about I hate to say the globe lie. I want to get into this very deeply. Because for myself, I don't feel it's a lie. I feel it's the single branch that has been taken advantage of and has been used to bash people over the head with, as though there are no other things except for this one branch, this one trunk, with no branches, no roots. And where does English come from? You know, the English we use to talk about maths and science. I do believe that the situation was taken advantage of. I've said it before, I think it's damn it, Jeren said it the other day. I think it's that the globe is the best guessed so far. There is mountains of evidence that point towards it, but no conclusive proof. You understand? Oh, look at all these shrooms. Oh, absolutely littering across there. Shroomies. So the situation taken advantage of. A idea that was allowed to run away with itself, almost. You know, it took on a life of its own. As they all do, as all the ancient ideas do, they take a hold, they take a grip on people's hearts and minds, you know? Oh, this one, he doesn't like me talking, this one, when I walk past. He's probably thinking, who's he talking to? Oh, I'm sorry, fella. Yeah, don't like me talking to myself. Yeah, see, agreeing with me. If you'll indulge me at some point, I would like to go back through my own videos and expand upon some of the things I've said, some of the claims I've made, and I'll do it as usual my way. And I will sit and continue to wonder at this magical seeming way that my ideas that I share with no one and keep in my own mind suddenly make their way out onto the internet. You very rarely hear, oh my god, we had the same idea at the same time. Isn't that amazing? You don't hear this. All you hear is, he stole my idea. There's something else. There's something more going on. No one can see it. I hate to say it. Some people think it's like it's God touching people on the shoulder. You know, well, I don't know, maybe. I do have the horror story that, you know, we're all being programmed subliminally or not via the internet. And this is why we all keep coming out with videos of similar topics at the same time, while we're all sharing similar moods at the same time, because we're all being played with. Our emotions are being played with. Did Facebook not admit to doing that, or Google, Facebook not admit to doing that to people? How can at the same time so many people in this flat earth community feel low? How can at the same time so many feel up? How can simultaneously even 4, 5 or 6 separate flat earthers suddenly jump on the same topic? I fear we are becoming a closed-knit community, and we have nothing else to talk about because we are a closed-knit community. We need to branch out, reach out, and discuss other things as well. Not just those things I feel are most important, okay? All avenues must be explored, all ideas must be put on the table, and then systematically looked through. You know, there are plenty of topics I don't want to look into, but I know and trust people that I will take their word, knowing that they've looked into it properly, thoroughly, come up to their own independent conclusions, and not parroted from a book. I'm going to stop in a minute. At 15 minutes it's easier to upload. But I do hope you're all well. And I wish you'd all make some more videos, just expressing what I can only say is your obvious frustrations. Otherwise you'd all be making videos. People are frustrated about something. We are all somehow frustrated about something. And I honestly feel sometimes the only way to deal with it is to get it off your chest. It's something that was taken from us. It's something we must take back. Pubs, no pubs. Communities, no communities. We make our own. We do it our own way. Okay? Much love to you all. Peace and love.